So a 3-0 defeat today against Royston. I mean, is it fair to say that the opening sort of 70 minutes was a bit like a carbon copy of last week, but in reverse?
Yes,
and then the last
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So I've just said to the boys in there, I said you'd be embarrassed to concede them 3 goals on a Sunday morning. So when you give 3 of those away in the same game, you're not onto a winner. It's as simple as that. And I'd say maybe a little bit nice on the 70 minutes, but I think after 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so, I think we settled. We started to move the ball. We started getting people in real areas. They didn't really know how to cope with us moving the ball. And at times we looked just like that killer edge. And at this level of football, if you like that killer edge, it's tough, because if you get off to the start that we've had, and as I said, we won ugly last week. But at the same time, we need to make sure that when we put an half-decent performance in, it's a 100% half-decent performance rather than 90% good on a certain aspect. But those 3 goals were criminal today. I'm not going to go into much else in terms of officiating and decisions, because both teams felt it could have been better. But at the end of the day, we didn't deal with those three things well enough at all. First penalty all day long, sloppiness. Second one, there's no change after the substitution, so there should not be 3 men in the box. After the first contact, we still have to be better. I think we can go and clear that up. So we've had 2 opportunities too, so then you deserve to get punished on for the goal. And then the third is just collapsed. At the end of the day, at that point you try and make it a little less harsh on the eye, the scoreline. We haven't, and then, as I say, we've just given them the 3rd goal. So for all the good work and the good play, and in spells, the good thing is I've taken some positives from a few players in there and seen that we can add that in. But until we stop shipping goals, it's going to be tough in any game.
Mm-hmm. And one of the positive players, I'd like to say, Jack Rogers, did well. Do you think if he scores that goal down there to hit the post, it's a different
story? Yeah, probably. And we said that at half time. I said at the end of the day, I genuinely believed if we came out and we scored early in the second half, that we'd go on and win the game. We were moving the ball well enough. They were pretty direct in the first half, and with them going into the second half downhill, things would run out. Whereas we played a style that you could play against it, you could play with it. So I was confident going in, and as I say, we just like that killer edge. If we got that goal end of the first half, or middle of the first half, like you say, which was great play, deserved more. Got in a few little other areas, but I'll be interested to see the stats on the game, really, in terms of how many shots they've actually had, and just areas that they've been in, because, as you say, from I think the normal person's viewing of that, we controlled a lot of the game, but at the end of the day, it's a results business, like I said last week, and that's exactly why I said after Berkhamsted, I ain't getting overawed with that result. At the end of the day, we've beaten a side that we should beat. Today we had an opportunity to come and get something, and we didn't, regardless of control. But control means nothing if you don't win games of football. It's as simple as that.
And what did you think there, Nick, of Wrighty's performance today?
Do you know what? Steady in spells. He's a footballer, so even if he's lacked game time, he's got nous. He knows how to move the ball, and in the first half, when we had quite a bit of control, I think everyone would say that he was quite involved in all of them spells, keeping us ticking, and he will only get fitter and he will only get better. I'm still really pleased to have him through the door. As I say, if we had a little bit of killer edge, even at 1-0, I know we started the game horrendously, but if we score, we will go and win that game, in my opinion. But fair play to them. They've stuck in and they've finished us off. Really, is what we could have done potentially to Berkhamsted last week. We could have probably gone 2 or 3 on the break at the end, but they have. But the only difference is ours would have been through breaking and decent play. Today was just poor conceding goals. So it's glaring to see. So it's not like we're going to miss anything from there. But we have to win games of football. And again, I saw plenty of fans travelling, so we really appreciate that. And obviously we do apologise for the goals that they've seen today. But of course, as football people, they'd have seen a stark change in how we want to try and operate, and if we can start getting the results on the board, hey, let's try and go and have a positive second half of the season.
Was a little game on Chesterfield big week and then weekend. Again, what's the sort of biggest thing you want to see in those games?
I just want to see us stay competitive in the games. So I want us to stay on edge. Defensively, we have to be pessimistic. It's just a saying I've always said, you have to always expect the worst. So it keeps you on edge and keeps people out your goal. So if we keep clean sheets, we give ourselves an opportunity to stay in games. The performance, as you saw today, for a large chunk, will get better. And if we find that killer edge and we start scoring multiple goals in games, not just one, we'll start picking up plenty of results. I genuinely do believe that. But hey, until that stem of those goals stops, we've got to make sure that happens quickly. But let's go into Chesterfield, go and try and, like, as I said before, book ourselves into the next round, and then coming into Hell's Owen, we've got a wrong to right in terms of what happened earlier on in the season. So let us go and be positive. Let's go and be hard to beat, but let's also try and get on the front foot and make people proud of the performances that they're watching.